recording. Okay, you guys, it is December 8th, 2016, and we only have a few weeks left in the year. And one of the things that I posted about in the last couple days on my personal page is missing your goals. And I just wanted to talk about this a little bit because this is something that I feel everyone throughout the network is feeling right now. It's been kind of a slow year with Beachbody, and if you're a new coach, you might not have picked up on that. So I almost hesitate to mention this because I don't want you to get disillusioned or discouraged by any means. But just know that the coaches that have been around a while are feeling as if it is a tough year, myself included. Even though I'm not even 3 years into the business, I feel like the last few months have been really tough. And even though I feel like, okay, I've hit some really awesome milestones this year, I have missed out on a lot of the goals I set for myself. And I just want to let you guys know that that is totally okay. And I want you to each, no matter what your goals were, if you did not hit your goals, I want you to celebrate what you did accomplish, because those are the things that will give you the energy and the momentum to keep going. And I don't want you to think about, the fact that, oh, I wanted to be emerald and I didn't hit emerald, or I was going to be diamond and I'm 2 coaches short, or any of those things that you were really struggling with, or, whatever you're feeling in your own confidence level in the business. I don't want you guys to focus on that. I want you to erase that. Erase your goals, your year-end goals from your mind right now. Unless you're really close to achieving them, there's still time left. But if it's something that you were super stoked about and it didn't happen, that's okay. It's totally fine, you guys. As long as you were giving it your all and you were putting the work in and planting those seeds, you still made progress. Am I right? So I want you to celebrate the progress that you did make, because that progress will propel you forward in the last week of this month and into 2017. And I have full confidence that if you guys still keep up with your momentum and still plant those seeds and do all the things that you want to do to accomplish your goals, you will totally get there. So I don't want you to feel discouraged. But do take it from me. You guys, if you look at top coaches, just realize that every single top coach that you see out there has had major setbacks. I have heard of coaches that have dropped from 15-star, superstar diamond, back down to 4-star within a couple of months. And so just imagine your setbacks, but amplified 10 times. So when I think about that, I'm like, okay, it's just all part of the process. This is part of learning, and sometimes it's 2 steps forward, 1 step back, or 1 step forward and 2 steps back. But as long as you don't quit, we'll all get there. So anyway, that was my little intro tonight, because I'm kind of feeling that a little bit here this month. And, I'm still hanging in with elite. It's totally been my goal all year to hit elite. Hopefully it will happen. If it, we'll see. But if it doesn't, I am still super proud of what our team has accomplished, what I have accomplished. And you guys should be proud of your own accomplishments too. I'm just looking at Beck right here too. And she ran her first half marathon. So, little things like that. And that's not a little thing, but I didn't mean to diminish it. But every single thing that you guys have accomplished, you should be super proud of that and celebrate everything that you've done along the way, because those are the things that will give you momentum and an energy to move forward. And, is Kia on the line here? I think she is. Okay, so Kia and I were having a discussion on Facebook, just a chat back and forth kind of thing. And it is so easy to lose enthusiasm this time of year. And that was kind of what we were talking about. And I struggle with that too, you guys. And I've struggled with seasonal depression for many, many years. I would say probably 20 years of my life, even though a large part of that went undiagnosed. But when I was around 40, I finally got medical attention for it. And I went on, and it's actually called citalopram. So it's an anti-anxiety slash depression medication. And so I guess my point in saying that is I get what it's like not to be enthused about what you're doing. I get, especially this time of year when it gets dark before 5 p.m. here in Minnesota. And I'm like, oh my gosh, like I feel like taking a nap all the time and I just feel like hibernating. Enthusiasm it's very hard to come by. But just know that your challengers and the energy that you project it's evident even if you're just typing it. So I would highly encourage you guys to get in the zone. And it was seriously, like, this is what I would do to get in the zone. And days like this in December, it takes me a lot of energy. Like, it takes me a lot just to get up enough energy to do a post or things like that. And sometimes it takes putting on some fun music, drinking my Energize, getting my workout in, taking a hot shower, and that's when I'll do my posts. Like, I seriously am not in the zone as often now as I would be like throughout the summer when I feel like energy is just so much easier to come by. But just know that your challengers and the people that are looking to you for guidance and support feel your energy. And so there are little things you can do, and you kind of have to know yourself and what works for you. That's just what works for me. So if you guys have little tips and tricks on what gets you in the zone or what makes you, like, yeah, Kristen, energized, totally. Music, energize, dancing, whatever it takes. But sometimes, like, just know that it doesn't come naturally all the time. Sometimes you have to do those things that just get you up and running and enthused. So that was one thing that Kia and I were talking about. And Kia's gone through a really, really tough time, you guys. Her mom just passed away, and my heart certainly goes out to you, Kia, because I know what that's like. My dad passed away last year, and it was horrible, and I went through a full range of emotions with that. For me, it was anger. Like, I was dealing with a lot of anger because his death seemed very unfair to me. And I was angry at the people that didn't support me because I felt like they owed me a little bit. So anyway, that's a little bit of a tangent that I've gone on, but just know that I understand. And like, we all go through shitty times in our lives and all this kind of stuff. And it's totally okay. Like, you have to allow yourself those emotions because they're natural. And whatever you're feeling, whatever you're going through right now, you guys, none of your feelings are invalid. If they're feelings, they're valid. They totally mean something, and it's your experience. It's what you're meant to experience, and you have to work through them at your own pace. And don't feel guilty about them. Don't make apologies for them. Your feelings are always totally in line with, what the world is trying to give you at this very moment. So anyway, that being said, okay, I'm going to do a little bit of a screen share here. I, at the very last minute, tried to pull up okay, hang on a second, you guys. I did have a little graphic for our Success Club point winners last month, so hopefully I can pull it up here, you guys. There weren't that many of us that hit Success Club, which is really normal in November and December. I think Jessica mentioned it in one of her Team Crazy Train videos that she just did not too long ago. And let's see if I can handle it here. Oh my gosh, this must be it. Okay. Like I said, I'm not too organized. So anyway, this is our Success Club November list, you guys. Lisa rocked it out with 10 points. Yay! Is Lisa on the call? I don't know if she is or not. But anyway, that's awesome. I know Success Club 10 is really hard to do, and she's making that her new benchmark, which is really cool. So we had Nicole and Kristen and Lucy, and Sasha is awesome to see on the list here because she has kind of given her business a little bit of a renewed kick here. And Shani and Denise, kudos to you guys too. So anyway, yeah, super excited for all of you guys that hit that. Let me see while I'm screen sharing if there's anything else. Okay, here are my notes. Actually, I was going to talk about attraction marketing. So maybe let's see. I'm going to pull this up for a second just so I can look at it, but I'm going to stop my screen share. Okay, you guys. So let me just talk a minute about the upcoming challenge groups that we have a little bit. Um, so anyway, we have got Finish Strong, which just recently launched, and I've got a couple free groups that I'm going to be hosting. I've got the Holiday Crunch Time, which will start on the 14th, so that is, like a week or so away from now. I guess it was a week from yesterday. We're starting it on a Wednesday because it's a 10-day group. And that is a Beachbody On Demand group. One thing I want you guys to know is that Beachbody is really, really moving towards digital in the next year. The one thing that I really get a sense of is they are trying to do away with the challenge packs. In the traditional sense, this will be the last month that they actually offer the $140 sale challenge pack. So come January, I'm not quite sure what their plans are. I haven't heard a whole lot of detail, but I do know that they're going to be moving more towards just offering Beachbody On Demand and Shakeology and having us use my challenge tracker app and all that kind of digital stuff. So with that, I thought a Beachbody On Demand group would be really good. And what is better right now than just like addressing the fact that not many of us have a lot of time. We're stressed out. So let's just get the momentum going with quick workouts, whether they're from a 10-minute trainer or something that takes 20 minutes. I know that Brazil Butt Lift has the tummy tuck video that's like 20 minutes. There's plenty of videos out there on Beachbody On Demand that are like 20 minutes or less. So I haven't quite formulated the template for this yet, you guys, but it will be 10 days of workouts that are like 20 minutes or less, so that people cannot use time as an excuse. They cannot use money as an excuse because they get a free 30-day trial. So I want you guys to be plugging this as much as you possibly can be to get your prospects ready and warm and like super like stoked about a challenge group. Because these are the people that are kind of going into your marketing funnel that will end up being your challengers for the health bet, which starts in January. It launches on January 9th, but my strategy is to get all of my challengers lined up before the end of the year. In fact, I really want you guys to get all of your people lined up by the end of the month. I personally am going to be offering an early bird sale or flash sale or something like that because I want to get all my my Success Club points in before Christmas. I don't want to have to worry about it. My goals are to hit Success Club 10. I want to get my mom to Success Club 10, and then I don't want to worry about it anymore. So I'm going to be offering Fixate as an early bird special. So I don't know if you guys want to do that, but that's personally and entirely up to you. I want to get people enrolled by the end of this weekend. So I'm going to be promoting the health bet like crazy in the next few days. And so my goal is just to get, 5 or 6 people signed up. I'm going to be talking to my current customers, my past customers, everyone that has ever expressed interest in doing a challenge group. And so if you guys are seasoned coaches, I would entirely encourage you to do the same. Reach out to anyone who has ever worked with you in the past, everyone on your customer list. However, if you are a newer coach and you're still trying to build up your prospect list, what I would suggest doing is lead with the health bet proposition. Let them know how awesome it is. And then if they say no, then offer them the holiday crunch. Because here's the deal. You guys want to hit Success Club before you offer them a free group, right? So I want you guys all to be like hyping up the health bet and how awesome it is and the fact that there's a cash payout. And, I can go on and on. I will post a link to the blog post I did about this. I'm going to do a little video. I've got an event page set up. So I would encourage you guys to do all the same stuff. If you participated in the health bet in September, talk about how great it was for you, your cash payout that you got, all this kind of stuff. Because that is what's going to really sell people is your own experience with it. But if they are still hesitant about, buying a challenge pack, then you have the Holiday Crunch group to offer them. And there will still be plenty of time. So let's say you hit it hard this weekend promoting the health bet. and they're still like, well, it sounds really great, but I'm not sure if I want to spend the money, it's Christmas and all that, because that's how people are this time of year. That's when you come in and you say, oh, well, that's okay, because our team is also doing a holiday crunch group, and that will give you the experience of a challenge group. You can totally figure out if it's right for you, and then if it is, there's still time to sign up. So that would be the strategy I would have if I were a newer coach. I would totally lead with the health bet, try to get your Success Club points, offer early bird specials, do all that great stuff, but then have the holiday crunch as a backup. Do not lead with holiday crunch, I guess, is my main point. You offer that as kind of a downsell if you're talking about sales or marketing. So anyway, so that kind of covers the groups that we have coming up. I'm also doing a 5 days of Shakeology group. So far I don't have a ton of interest in that. I'm actually doing this as a means to kind of get rid of my Shakeology inventory, because with my husband and my daughter and my mom and every single relative under the sun that I have enrolled as coaches, I have a backlog of Shakeology. So my purpose in that is moving my own Shakeology inventory and exposing people to the great benefits of it. So if that's not your motive, I would not even focus on doing that. But if it is, you're certainly welcome to join that group and participate along with us. So and another thing that I just wanted to mention too is, just know what your goals are with your business and design your own challenge groups around them. Because when I started as a new coach, my main objective was simply to grow my client list. And I couldn't do that by selling challenge packs, because to me, there's a huge jump between making a new friend and then asking them to marry you, right? So you almost have to think about it as dating. Like, I felt like I needed to run a lot of free groups so that they would get to know me and my coaching style and see what this is all about before they would take the leap into doing a challenge group or signing up as a coach or that kind of thing. So if you're a newer coach, I would highly recommend that you do a free group now and then, but also don't shoot yourself in the foot, because one thing that you can do is sabotage your efforts for a longer challenge group by offering too many free groups. And that was a mistake that I made. I came to have challengers that just said, oh, I'll just wait for your next free group. I'm not going to do the challenge group. And I was like, well, wait a minute, that wasn't the intention. So I would not do a free group longer than 5 or 7 days. And I know with the holiday crunch group, it's a 10-day group, but I also know that that's okay, because this time of year is super, super slow. So I would never offer a 10-day group that was free if it weren't a really slow time of year. For example, I would never do this in January. In fact, I don't plan on doing any free groups in January. That is when I'm hoping to kind of cash in on all the seeds that I've been planting and all of the relationships I've been forming the last few months that have been really slow here. So anyway, I'm really rambling, you guys. I hope that you have questions and feel free to speak up as we go along here. But okay, Leah asks, what are you giving away for the early bird? I am planning on giving away a Fixate cookbook, just because I have one right now and I can take a picture of myself with it. And as coaches, we get them for $15. And so I figured if I ordered 5, the shipping isn't that bad. And so I'm hoping to get 5 people enrolled with that Fixate offer. That's my intention anyway. So yeah, but I've had success with offering, personal development books or gift cards, if you want to do a Target gift card or something like that. People love that stuff too. So you kind of have to know your market and what speaks to them. Yeah, I'm just planning on Fixate. Kristen says container packs, Fixate plus containers. Yeah, I have a lot of those container packs too. But the thing I don't like about them is they're tougher to mail. I like things I can just put into an envelope. So I always look for that. What can I just mail? And Fixate's going to be pretty easy to mail. So, but I also have to order it quickly too if I plan on doing that, because Beachbody shipping takes forever. So anyway. that, when I said planting seeds, that kind of takes me back to what are the key activities you guys can all be doing right now, because it is a little bit slower with what we're doing. So it is super, super important, you guys, that you are sharing your story on social media. You are talking about working out all the time. You are being an example of what they are not, what they aspire to be, because we are hoping to catch the people that are putting off fitness until the first of the year, right? Because we know that there's so many of them out there. So many people are saying, oh, well, I'm too busy. I've got parties coming up. I'm traveling. It's too hard to stay in shape. Well, they need to see that someone else is out there being an example of what to do instead of what not to do. So I want you to think about perhaps who you were before Beachbody. And what was your frame of mind in December before Beachbody? And really address that and talk about, and let's go beyond the picture of us with the Shakeology and the sweaty selfie and all that crap, because we all know that it's great, but it doesn't mean a lot if you don't put your story behind it. If you aren't actually connecting with people, you guys, if you aren't being vulnerable, it just comes across as being salesy. So I would really, really encourage you guys to be as vulnerable as you can right now with your story. Talk about the emotions that you go through, the imperfections that you're dealing with, the struggles. All these kinds of things are what will connect you with other people. And they're often the hardest things that you can write about and the things that you can put out there on social media because you're afraid of being judged. But those are the most effective things you guys can do with your business at any given moment, is just simply being honest and open and real. And it's tough. It's not easy. I struggle with it myself, but when I do, that is when the magic happens. So I would really encourage you guys just to be super, super real. Don't try to be perfect. In fact, the less perfect you are, the more impactful you will be. Use your own stories, your own experience, your own struggles to connect with other people. And just think about what are the emotions that people are going through right now. I mean, people are feeling really guilty especially on Mondays. Think about it, like this Monday, like if I were not a Beachbody coach and I were to go to a holiday party, I've got one coming up on Saturday, and I know the food is going to be awesome because I know who's coming and I know how awesome they cook. I'm like, if I had not been a Beachbody coach, I would probably feel like crap on Monday because I would have eaten too much. I would have had too much wine. I wouldn't have worked out. And I would be sitting around in my jeans feeling like a piece of crap. So, I mean, and not that you want to be graphic and talk about people about like, oh, you must feel like a piece of crap or anything like that. But just know that, like remember where you came from when you write these posts. And really talk to the people that need your help and offer them a solution. And, it's also good to let them know, too, that you can still go to a party and have fun. So I'm going to kind of put that positive spin on my post, too. Like, okay, I'm going to maybe make something healthy to bring to the party and talk about, maybe 2 years ago I would have eaten bacon-wrapped wieners and buffalo dip, and I would have felt guilty on Monday. But this year I brought, black bean salsa, and it was still fun. So you have to find a way to put a positive spin on that too, but really tapping into people's emotions is super, super important. And so yes, posting right now is one of the biggest key activities that you can be doing. And also just posting on social media, connecting with people, starting conversations that have nothing whatsoever to do with Beachbody. You want to be making friendships, developing trust with people, and showing them what you're doing, but not in a pushy way by any means. Because if you post something on your social media and they see it, it's not as if you're shoving it down their throat by any means. They're just seeing it by default. So I don't do a lot of cold invites, you guys, but so I guess right now I would focus on just developing relationships and talking to people and, like really reaching out to them. This is such a great time of year to, just let people know that you're grateful for them and you're thankful for their friendship and, like complimenting them. Compliments go a long way. If you see someone's picture of, their adorable kids, say something, comment, compliment, all that great stuff. And that, like I said, that stuff really does go a long way. And by default, when you start posting on your social media about your health and fitness, they will see that, because the way Facebook's algorithms are set up, you guys, if you have a two-way interaction with them, it can't just be one way. It can't just be liking and commenting on them. It has to be like either a private conversation, or you like and comment on them and they comment back. But if you have a two-way interaction with them, then your stuff will be seen on their feed too. So that's another reason why you really want to make sure that you're liking and commenting on the posts of the people that you really want to help out in January. So connecting, building relationships, posting about your fitness would be the number one things I would say to do right now. And you guys, I know I had a couple of you guys ask about how to build your customer base and actually add to your friends list. And really the number one thing that you can be doing on Facebook is just adding people that come up in the suggested friends, especially if they are not Beachbody coaches. I tend not to add Beachbody coaches in my friends list unless they're on my team, simply because then I get more and more Beachbody coaches friending me. And not that I don't want to be friends with them, but they're not my target market. So I tend not to accept friend requests from Beachbody coaches unless I know them personally. So if you are a newer coach and still trying to add those 3 to 5 people to your network daily, I would go into your Facebook friends list where, it says, I think the correct verbiage is people you may know, or friends you may know, or suggested friends, or something like that. If it's someone you've met in real life, absolutely friend them. That won't seem weird or creepy at all. If you have like 10 or more friends in common, for sure, friend them. They aren't going to think that's weird. But don't turn around and ask them to buy a challenge pack the next day, because that you haven't earned the right to do that yet, you guys. So you have to build that relationship first. But asking people to be your friend is 100% okay. And then the more people you friend and the more people you start liking and commenting on their stuff, then the more opportunities you will have to actually friend more people, and so on and so forth, and all that great stuff. So anyway, Kristen has a lot of great stuff. She's typing it in. I'm just going to turn it over to you for a minute, Kristen, because I've been rambling and I need a drink of water. I've been talking too much. Do you mind talking a minute, girl?
I don't mind, no.
Okay, cool. Well, you take it away then.
Just again, to reiterate what you talked about as far as like ways to continue to just make connections and plant seeds that don't really have anything to do with selling anybody a challenge pack, is just private message people in your life who have liked your post, who have commented, and just let them know. I mean, we really do appreciate those friends of ours, right? I mean, even if they never sign up for a group or anything like that, it makes us feel good when we get a couple likes and hearts and other stuff. So just let them know. Just say, hey, just wanted to let you know, I really appreciate all the support you've given me over the past year. And maybe there's like another sentence, and just say, I wanted to make sure you knew how valuable you are to me, or something like that. Whatever is your natural language to say, and just leave it at that. And usually people would be like, oh, thanks. And then they'll typically interact more. Like one of my best friends from college, she's a notorious Facebook lurker. And I finally had to let her know. I'm like, hey, because she tells me in private, I love all your posts and they're so inspiring. I'm like, hey, you got to like them and comment so they know that you're there and you're listening and stuff. And now she does. So just doing those little things helps people feel appreciated, and it starts conversations, and then they'll be thinking about you and watching more as you go. That was my main point. Otherwise, just keep doing what you're doing and keep sharing. That week after Christmas is when people are going to come like gangbusters. So you want to make sure that every day you're showing up and being consistent so that you're at top of their mind when they're starting to feel like an overstuffed marshmallow on December 26th. And you can talk to them about like, hey, didn't get what you wanted under the Christmas tree, or how about you've got that Christmas money from grandpa and grandma that's burning a hole in your pocket. Now's the time to invest in you. So.
Yeah. Great stuff, Kristen. So Leah, do you have anything to add to that?
Um, yeah, as far as social media goes, things have been hit or miss, as far as like likes go. But I'm just trying to not focus on that. Yesterday I posted about my fingernail polish chipping, and I just asked for honest to God, I needed advice, like give me your best top coat. And I got a zillion comments on that and a ton of views, and I'm like, what a silly thing, but I just honestly wanted someone's opinion. But it's interesting because like all those people were so willing to give advice, and then when I post like my workout, they might not be so willing to click the like button, just for whatever reason. But I think people are still seeing it. So I'm trying to just remind myself that I don't need to focus on the likes. Yes, the likes and the comments and the shares get more interaction, which makes my page get seen more often, but I think I do have a solid base of followers. And so as long as I'm providing like good content, I think that's really helpful. I had a post yesterday too about my husband and I just started like a new date night tradition type thing. And I talked about that a little bit, and that got really good traction. So a lot of my non-fitness, non-Beachbody stuff gets more traction. So just remember that you're a real person trying to talk to real people, being relatable to just normal life situations. And like Kim mentioned, it's kind of hard to put yourself out there, but people really do love you for it. I just had a new person reach out to me today about my thyroid post from like 2 or 3 weeks ago, maybe even longer than that, because her daughter has an underactive thyroid. So now I'm starting this new conversation, this new connection, and it's something that I don't even really talk about that much, but I'm going to talk about it a lot more because it's something that I deal with, and I know other people deal with it too. So just think of all those little things that you might kind of just brush to the side that are not like something super spectacular maybe in your own eyes, but to other people that could become your niche market. So nothing's insignificant, I guess is what I'm trying to say.
No, and that's so true. Like you said, Leah, like it could be the weirdest thing, like your nail polish or just like asking for an opinion. People love to give advice. Like they love to feel like they're an expert on any type of topic. So that is a really good conversation starter. If you have something that you're unsure of in your life, you just need an opinion, you want, I don't know, like, and that is a very strong connecting point because people always want to be perceived as an expert. So if you have something out there like that, just to put it out there on social media, and it's so true, like we don't always have to talk about health and fitness because we're so much more than that. When we start talking about the other things in our lives that are important or of interest to us, that's when we really start solidifying those relationships and setting ourselves apart from other coaches. Because if all we were Beachbody robots, like that's so boring. Like there are 500,000 Beachbody coaches out there. People want to pick the one that they relate to, right? And so you have to like be more than just a Beachbody coach, whether it's talking about travel or your nail polish or your dog or whatever the case may be. If it's something that you're excited about or interested in, you should definitely talk about it. And I found too lately, like just if I post more on my personal page just about random stuff, I get a lot more likes and interactions. So if I throw a Beachbody post in there once in a while, and I'm talking about my personal Facebook page here, you guys, not my like page, but I find that it gives me an opportunity to engage with people and really forge relationships on Facebook that maybe they'll see my Facebook stuff or my Beachbody stuff later on down the road, especially in the end of January or the end of December when I hit it hard. So right now I'm concentrating more on just putting myself out there, not necessarily the fitness aspect of what I do, but putting stuff about like my travels or my dog, or the fact that my daughter brought home a cat last night without permission, shit like that. I'm like, okay, this is what I do because this is my life. And it's funny because I'm creating all these new conversations with people that are kind of, I haven't talked to in a long time, but now I'm talking to them on Facebook, so that maybe in a couple weeks when they're ready to start a fitness program, then I will at least be more at the top of their mind because we've had a recent conversation about something completely unrelated. So any type of social media activity right now, you guys, is a good thing. It doesn't have to be fitness related. If you are stuck with your fitness, don't feel like that's all you have to talk about. Just talk about what's going on in your life. I'm not saying don't keep up with your fitness, because that is really important too, but talk about whatever the heck you want to talk about right now. Just keep it busy. I saw Kristen nodding her head. Do you have something to add?
Yeah. And again, too, like add value to people's lives. So sharing tips, like even something as insignificant as I found an app that helps you unroll from email subscriptions. And I didn't even think that I was sharing it. It's just like the app required me to like click on something, and I guess it shared it to my newsfeed. So then I entered in some text, and then people are like, oh my God, this is the best ever. Thank you so much. And like all these people are liking it and sharing it and stuff. So it's like, okay, great. So do more of those type of things. Like if there's some kitchen gadget that you freaking love, or some organizing piece, or some favorite scarf, like throw that stuff out there too. People love all that.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Unroll Me app, pretty awesome, right?
I'm writing that down. I need
and the thing is like, somebody told me about that a couple years ago and I didn't pay attention to it. So when I saw it again, I was like, yes, this is it.
Yeah. Very cool.
Can I add one more thing too?
Yeah.
I've had, in the last 2 months, I've had a ton of coach transfers to me, which I know is kind of like a taboo topic. And if someone reaches out to you that already has a coach, you have to, encourage them to go back to their coach, ask about a challenge group, get more invested again with their coach. But I've had people that are like, my coach doesn't respond to me, my coach doesn't support me, my coach doesn't run challenge groups. And I guess the point of that would be to don't be that coach. Don't be that coach that is too busy to support the people that you promised in your, your messages to them and in your posts to them. Make sure that you're getting in those Facebook groups and you're getting on that tracker app and you're commenting and helping them. If you notice that they're eating pizza every day, guess what? At the end of the day, they're not going to see results and they're going to want to blame somebody. And we need to give them a reason not to blame us. We need to be there supporting them. Something that I started doing was sending a monthly just an email. I created a Woofu application that is a customer check-in for anybody who wants to get involved again in my challenge groups, who maybe has fallen off, by the wayside, and I ask questions about Shakeology and what fitness program they're doing and if they need help, getting back on track, that sort of thing. But also just like letting them know when my challenge groups are coming up, because at the end of the day, like I don't want my customer from a year ago to have gained 15 pounds because they haven't been involved in anything and then say, yeah, my coach never reaches out to me. So find a way to still kind of stay tied into those people, whether it's, creating them like a Facebook group that they can go to. That's just like an ongoing group that you put people in after a challenge group. You got to have some way to communicate with them, because the people that are coming to me are saying that they've just are totally disconnected with their coach. And you know what? I welcome them in with open arms, as long as they're comfortable having that conversation with their coach and kind of breaking those ties. They can come to me, because at the end of the day, they need to feel connected to who they're working with. And I have not had people transfer away from me, so I know that I'm doing something right. I'm just looking at what Kristen said. Yeah, I can share my Woofu form with you guys. I have a coach application, I have a customer application, and then I have a challenger check-in. I think you get 3 free Woofu apps. So I just send those, and I put it in, I'm not super good about getting my newsletter out the first day of the month. Like I got mine out yesterday, which is pretty damn good for me.
Mm-hmm.
But, I listed out, I did exactly what I blogged about. And so I didn't create extra work for myself. And then I just added in about, as your coach, I just want you to feel comfortable coming to me, and I'll share it with you. I can share the newsletter thing too if you guys want me to, but I just think, it can't be about the 2 points, and it can't be about hitting Success Club and then see you later. Because it's your reputation, it's your referrals, it should be your passion. Helping people stay on track should be your passion. With that said, my customers from my first year of coaching, like some of them have fallen by the wayside. Otherwise, I'm pretty sure they know how to get in touch with me if they really need a group. So figure out a way to make it happen for yourself. I think that Woofu app is like the easiest way. I've had in the past, started a free Facebook group. Not a free Facebook group. It was kind of like a revolving door Facebook group where I used to add my customers to it after they completed a challenge group. That's a really good way if you don't want to do like a newsletter, which is a little bit of work because you have to go in and get all your emails and whatnot. But that would be something really good to do, just to kind of, you could take that Woofu app and just plop it in a comment or in a post and just say like, hey, I'm going to be having a new group coming up if you're interested, or if you want to just check back in with me. But yeah, just kind of staying on top of your customers. I know it can be really overwhelming, and like, especially like for people that have a lot of customers, like Kim gets like 1 million Success Club points every single month. So she has like 1 million customers. So I just think, we have to stand by our commitment that we make to people, I guess, is the bottom line.
Well, and I totally agree with that too, Leah. And I would always feel horrible if someone went to another coach saying, oh, well, Kim is my coach, but she hasn't reached out to me in like forever. And, I do have a lot of customers at this point. I'm almost 3 years in, but I feel like I've kind of covered my bases, because I do try to send out a monthly newsletter through the Coach Online Office. You guys, I don't know if you know this, but you can send mass emails to the Coach Online Office if you go under like my business and my desk and then my inbox. So I do that. I aim for once a month, whether that happens or not. Some months it's hit or miss, but once a month is probably my average. I have a blog. And on my blog, there's like the upcoming challenge groups. I have a section for that. And I've got my revolving door Facebook group. I've got my like page. So I feel like you guys, I almost feel like you guys, if you aren't getting the help you need, you can't put it entirely on me, because I've got like 5 million ways for you to reach out to me. So as long as you feel confident that if people need you, they would know how to find you, then I think you're good. And like Leah said, if people come to you, and like, this is my standard thing too. I'm like, well, if I always ask them, are you working with a coach already? And then I can usually get a good sense of where they're coming from, because a lot of people say, well, I was assigned a coach, but I don't know her, or I've never had any contact with her. And then I honestly don't feel very guilty at all for reaching out to that person or giving them instructions to assign me as their coach, because they have no relationship. Now, if they do have a relationship with somebody, then that's where it gets a little bit dicey, because you do want them to reach out to that person again. And I encourage them to find out, I say, well, technically my groups are only for my clients. Why don't you reach out to your coach and see if they have any challenge groups coming up? And I've had that happen before, where they'll be like, okay, I'll do that. And then maybe two months down the road, they'll be like, well, my coach still hasn't run a challenge group. And then I'll be like, okay, I'll give you instructions how to assign me as your coach. And I feel like as long as you can document that and prove that you're not like poaching another client, then you're good. Because if they're coming to you and you're not trying to take them away from somebody, and you actively try to get them back with their coach, or ask them, like, are you working with someone? And they say no, then it's okay. I mean, we all want, like, ultimately we want these people to have results, and we want them to be with the person that helps them get those results, whether it's you or someone else. I have had people leave me, and most of the time it's for a very valid reason. Like, a lot of times it's because they found, like, it's someone that I didn't know in person, and they found someone locally that can give them local support. And I'm like, I totally understand that. Then you should work with that person, right? Or like one time I had like a Hispanic woman saying, well, I found a coach that speaks Spanish. I'm like, well, I can't compete with that, you know? So it's like, it's totally fine. We have to be okay with giving up our people too, if they find someone that clicks with them a little bit better. So that's all I have.
I started the month, last month I got 2 points from like a complete stranger who I emailed right away, and she never got back to me. And then I started this month at -2 because she must have realized, like, oh, I know so-and-so down the block that I didn't know she was a Beachbody coach, or she had meant to sign up under her. Maybe she somehow came across my link. So yeah, I have had customers from coaches in my downline reach out to me wanting to join my challenge groups because their coach kind of just disappeared from social media. So don't disappear either, because then they're going to wonder, like, well, they must not be doing this anymore. I mean, there's a lot of reasons not to disappear, but that would be one of them. Because if your customers aren't seeing you walk the talk, then they're probably going to think, like, you know, you're not a resource to them anymore.
Yeah, and that's when it gets dicey, because I've had coaches that have kind of like gone MIA for several months. And then I feel bad for their challengers. I'm like, I want to help them. But so what do you do? So please don't put your upline in that position either, because we don't want to be in that position. We want you guys to be helping your clients. So if you have a customer list, even if it's only 2 or 3 people deep, make sure you're reaching out to them on a regular basis. And ask for referrals. Like, if you have 1 person on your customer list, multiply it. If you have 1 person, ask for a referral. If you have 2 people, ask both of them for a referral. Like, really, like, your warm market is always a resource for you. And by your warm market, I mean people that already know and trust you. Those are the people that are going to be your biggest help in this business. And your lukewarm market or your cold market, those are the people that you really need to get to know before you ask to do anything, in my opinion. So now is a great time to get to know them and to develop those relationships, so that when it comes time for them to actually want to do something, they'll be ready and they'll trust you. So anyway, it's getting kind of late, you guys. Does anyone have any questions before we wrap up the call tonight? No? Okay, I hope this was useful for everybody. Oh, one other thing I did want to mention, I hope everyone is getting excited for our midwinter retreats. It is the first weekend in February, and as soon as Christmas is over, I hope to really finalize some plans, get some reservations made, get a schedule lined up for you guys. If you are within driving distance of Minneapolis, you need to get here, look into flights. I think Lisa got a really, really awesome super deal. Just because it's Minneapolis in February and the weather is going to suck doesn't mean it won't be fun. I promise.
We'll warm up with some cocktails. We'll be good.
Yes, we will have a fun time. I am really looking forward to it. And hopefully we'll have a lot to celebrate by then, because our teams have all been growing. And, you know, I just love the vibe that we have going with our Team Crazy Train too, because I feel like we're all kind of just real and we kind of just get each other. And it'll be fun to connect with some of the newer people that I haven't met in real life before. So anyway. And Leah, did you say you're going to do the call next week, or is that Jessica that said that?
Jessica?
She's probably not on.
She could at 9.
Okay. Oh, yeah, that's right. Okay. Yeah. So we all kind of just take turns here, which is great. So if anybody has any topics that are like really pressing, make sure that you reach out to us, and we can do like little videos and help you along with other resources in between our calls. But we totally just kind of formulate these calls based on what you guys want and what you need to hear from us. So if we don't get that feedback, we kind of just do our own thing. So let us know what you guys want. So Anyway, it was good to see so many of you guys on the call tonight. I hope you all enjoyed what we had to say. I'm sorry if I rambled too much and wasn't prepared enough. But anyway.
It was good. Thank you.
Okay, everybody have a good night. We'll talk to you later.